Everyone, thank you for joining us here at the 2023 CUSA Kickoff, joined now by UTEP head coach Dana Dimmel, running back Deion Hankins, linebacker Tyrese Knight. We'll begin with a short opening statement from Coach Dimmel before opening up to questions for him and our two student athletes. Thank you as well to those joining us today via Zoom. Please be sure to type your question in the chat along with your name and affiliation, and we will get to those when we finish here in the room. Coach?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate being here. Always a great venue for us to come and see our second year here, and really enjoying it. It's a great experience for our players to get involved in this and to see how nicely run this is. So we're very appreciative to be here and looking like all of us. You know, we're all undefeated right now, so it's a great time of the year. And we play in week 0, so we report tomorrow. So things are going to crank up pretty quickly for us. Our first practice will be, we actually do our shuttle test on Thursday morning, which is something that's been in our system for multiple years that I brought with me from Kansas State. So the guys if they haven't made their time yet, they got to run early on Thursday morning, and we start our first practice Thursday afternoon. And obviously open up with a conference game, which is really cool for us to have a conference game and to help kick off Conference USA, the new Conference USA, which I'm very proud to be a part of because I was in this conference back in 2000 and when I was at the University of Houston, and so have a lot of nostalgia and history with this conference and love where it is right now. I love the challenges that lay ahead of us. The teams that we're going to play, the new teams coming into the league, are going to be fun for our alumni, and we can't wait to compete. And got a lot of experience on our team, a lot of really good players coming back, and we brought in a bunch of new players. I was doing our special teams depth chart the other day, and it's hard to find spots for people, and that tells me that we're the most athletic that we've been since we've been at UTEP. And you put that with the experience and talent that we have, and I like our team. We just need to play our brand of football and go out and win some games this year. So we'll open it up from there.
Jeff Nations with the Bowling Green Daily News. Just wanted to ask Deion and Tyrese your thoughts on this new conference. A lot of new opponents. How do you feel about that, the new look CUSA?
It's definitely a new feel, new teams that we've never played before. But we just want to go ahead and approach it the same way as, every season, every game, just one game at a time.
Yeah, the new teams that just joined us, we never played them, so we won't know how to approach them, but we're just going to treat them like every other game and stay prepared, and good preparation. That should be good for us.
It's been a while for us since we played Western too. We haven't played them since our first season, so it's almost like a new team coming into our league. We just haven't hit them on the round robin since year 1, and they sure are doing some great things out there. So obviously that'll be a fun game for us as well to play them again. Yeah, which is good. I like that part of it because one of the things I didn't like about the split conference is that we didn't get to know the other teams very well, and you didn't get to get a good feel for them, and you'd be voting for all conference players, and you never even went against them, and you didn't get to study them, and so that part of it, I've been in split leagues before, being in the Big 12, and I didn't like that part of it, so I like being able to play everybody each and every year.
Jack Nixon, Aggie Sports Network. What about having the Aggies in the league with you?
Yeah.
Any and every here.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's great for the whole, UTEP, El Paso, Las Cruces, New Mexico State community to have us all in the same league. I think it's just really good for New Mexico State to be in Conference USA because, as I mentioned, I love Conference USA, and I've been involved in it for 23 years here since 2000, and so for them to get into the conference and that being a conference game even intensifies the rivalry that we have with New Mexico State. And this year we play them on a Wednesday on national TV, so that'll be good as well. So again, really happy that New Mexico State is in the league with us, and I think it's great for both programs.
As far as the players, how do you feel about playing the Aggies in league now?
It was already a big game for us since Las Cruces and El Paso right beside each other, a rivalry game for us. But now since they're in our conference, it just made the game even more bigger for us. And really, I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. Makes the game more bigger. It definitely intensifies the feeling knowing that we're playing in the same conference. And I feel like it's, since it's a rivalry game for us, the fans and the the experience that we have playing against them, it'll be more intense.
Dion, you put on 15 pounds in the off season. Did you have to get a new suit for today, or?
Yeah, this actually my coach, my strength and conditioning coach suit. So, yeah.
Talk to me about the work you put in to kind of add some more weight and what you think that'll do to your game this season.
During the off season, I definitely, just try to focus on my muscle and my build and my eating habits. And I started cooking for myself and stuff and eating a lot more, chicken and stuff like that, oatmeal before the run. So that showed in my physique and stuff. So I gotta get used to seeing 235 on the scale, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And I feel like it adds to my game, and it will add to my game.
Question from Zoom from Colin Deaver. For Coach, how are you going to lean on what should be a stacked running back room this year?
Yeah, I think, playing UTEP football is going to be important. I think we've built a brand. Obviously, programs that I've been at, we've wanted to run the ball, and so having a backfield with multiple backs in there that are talented, I think, is really good to have. I sell it all the time, as far as our NFL stock goes, A, and B, the other thing is that, the running backs actually are better if you play more than one, and so I like playing 3 to 4 running backs, and I think we're going to have the ability to do that. Obviously, if Dion gets a hot hand, he'll get 15 to 20 plus carries in a game, but if that's the case, then the other guys are going to get their carries as well. So we like having that backfield. We're going to use all the backs that we have in the backfield as well, and we even have a true freshman that just came in that's looking really, really talented. So, a coach can't have enough depth. That's so important, and especially at the running back position.
For Tyrese, you had opportunities to play at other places, but decided to stay at UTEP. Talk me through that decision and what about UTEP, led to you staying.
I mean, at UTEP, I have a lot of brothers and people that I really would mess with a lot since I got to UTEP in 2020. I just didn't feel like it was no reason for me to leave the school, because I can make all my dreams come true from UTEP. And for me, I'm more of a loyal guy, so just staying here and just standing around the people that took me in and took a chance on me, I just couldn't let them down and just walk out on them like that.
For Dion or Tyrese, Coach mentioned practice and camp getting started tomorrow. Talk about the excitement around the locker room and for y'all, and also going into the week 0 at Jack State.
It's been a bit long and hard during the summer for us. We've been grinding every day since June. And just really overall, I think most of us just ready to start putting on pads and start doing what we love to do every day. So starting tomorrow is a big year for us, and everything starts with tomorrow to make everything come true.
Exactly. We've been grinding the whole off season, so to be able to finally start camp and play with the new teammates that we've got and see their talent, it's definitely an exciting experience. And to know that it could all get started soon and it's approaching what we've all been waiting for, it's an exciting experience.
Coach, you mentioned you're deep defensively this year, especially on the D-line. When you look at the offenses in this league, how important will it be to have that pressure up front to try and limit some of these offenses?
Yeah, I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. You have to be good up front to be good on defense. And in our league, obviously we have some teams that can really, move the ball offensively. But I think I learned that my early years at Kansas State when we weren't very good. My first 3 years of coaching, we were 0-31-1, and we weren't very good on the defensive line. And so I think that shaped me as a coach, that the first areas that we really try to get good at is defensive line play. And so we're blessed right now to have a lot of depth and talent on our defensive line, and we need to lean on those guys. A lot of experience there as well. But I think I was shaped early about creating good offensive and good defensive lines.
To kind of piggyback on that question from Zoom for Tyrese, the Miners defense has made great strides the last 2 seasons. What's the next step for that continued improvement?
Really is all about staying consistent and really just keeping our preparation at a high level. I mean, some days we can get lackadaisy and not really stay prepared a lot now, but I just feel like this year we just got to prepare every game the right way and take every snap 100%. I think we can do some really good things on defense this year.
Coach, coming off a 5-7 season, obviously one win from that bowl conversation, a new look league, just kind of expand more on that, the opportunities you see this season in kind of a potential wide open race there in the middle of the league for UTEP to break out.
I think every game is going to be extremely competitive this year. It's a great league. It's fun for all of us that are involved in it to be able to follow it and be coaching in it as well. Because each game every team that plays can win, and each game you can lose, and we're going to look at it that way. There's obviously a lot of good teams in the league, but there's also a lot of parity in our league right now. So I think the preparation that we have and consistency that we play in this league will be fun for us. And last year we're ahead UTSA 24-0 and lost that game to get to another bowl bid, and only the second time in school history to go back-to-back bowl games. And so again, we can do that again this year. We go to a bowl game. It'd be a great opportunity for our program. Our players, it needs to be said, because I think there's some type of aura right now that the bowl games aren't as important as they used to be, and our players absolutely love playing in bowl games and love the experience that they had 2 years ago, and it's something that they really, really, really strive to do, and that should not be taken lightly. And again, I've been at programs that we've been #1 in the country, and going to the bowl game was still a huge, huge part of that, so that should not be mistaken in college football. Bowl games are a big, big part of it, and that's a big goal for our football team, as well as other goals this year. We have other goals as well, but that's an important one for us as well.
Question in the middle.
Wanted to get your thoughts on the October portion of the schedule too, kind of the non-traditional games. You a fan of that or not?
Yeah, I say this, and I say it in jest. I'll be a fan if we win the games, right? But that's not a fair answer publicly. That's a fun answer. I've played in a lot of Thursday ESPN games, in the past, and really enjoyed those. I think I really do feel strongly that it's going to be a good exposure for our league, and people are going to see us play. Those games are going to be viewed at a high level, and it's going to be great for our programs to get our programs on the map the first year in the league. And I think they're going to see some of the cool venues that we play at. I mean, we're so proud of the Sun Bowl. We got new turf there at the Sun Bowl this year, and so it's a really neat place to play with tons of nostalgia and history. And so I think it'll be great for our games to be shown on TV at a national level during the midweek.
I'm guessing having an experienced quarterback is going to – Jack Nixon again with the Aggies.
Yeah.
Having an experienced quarterback is a big plus.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely huge for us. Gavin actually started a couple games 4 years ago. A couple of the games when we had some injuries, but coming back as a 3-year starter, and he's such a great kid. He's a New Mexico product, and really like what he brings to our team in so many ways. He's just a really tough competitor and super talented athlete, and so I couldn't ask for a better quarterback. He'd be the #1 pick if I could pick any quarterback in college football for many, many reasons. So really proud to have him back.
Question from Zoom. Dion, given your experience, how well prepared are you to take the next step in your evolution as a top back in Conference USA?
I feel like I'm more prepared than ever due to the adversity that I've faced during the past years with the pandemic and my injuries and stuff like that. I feel like it's all just led up to this moment where I can truly just flourish into the player that I desire to be.
All right, and one final question here from Zoom. John Manson, A Sea of Red. Coach, there's been a lot of change to the makeup of CUSA since last year. How do you expect the 4 newcomers to transition to the conference in year 1?
This is not coach speak. I'm expecting them to transition really well. We played Jacksonville State in our opener, so I've studied one of the new teams coming into our league, and they're super talented and a really good football team. And so, I've studied all of them, and I expect they've all done well in the other conferences they've been involved in, and so I expect all of them to come in and obviously we know a lot about New Mexico State too, so these are good teams coming into our league. So again, I'm really pleased about where our league stands, and I think, I felt last year, I've said this to some of the other coaches, I felt Conference USA really stacked up as a great conference last year. As you looked when we played other conferences in games, we did very, very well, and so I feel like our conference is not going to take a step backwards in any form or fashion.
All right, thank you all very much for your time today. We'll have WKU up next at 10:45.